Time for the only radio show of its kind. Auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, veterans of vintage. It's the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. For the next hour, enjoy great information about buying and selling antiques and collectibles, and some interesting stories. Now, the Donnelly Auctions Hour.
Welcome to the Donnelly Auctions Hour. Thank you for joining us. And yes, I have some interesting stories today. We're here on AM 560 every Saturday from 1 to 2 o'clock. And I'm Susan, and I'm here with Randy Donnelly, who's calling in today from Florida. How you doing, Randy? You out there?
I'm doing great. It's hot here.
It's hot in Florida, is it? Well, it's 66 degrees and raining here in beautiful Illinois.
Oh, I would take that today.
I don't know. But we are the owners of Donnelly Auctions in Union, Illinois. We're just 60 miles west of Chicago, and we're here today to help you determine if you have any valuable items in your home that you would like to put up for auction. And what we always like to start off with is what's happening at Donnelly Auctions this week. And one of the things is, Randy, you being out in Florida, I've heard you've had quite an adventure and some frolicking going on out there.
You with your frolicking. You know what, Susan, we're actually here doing two different pickups. I've got a full crew. We flew a bunch of guys, our crew out here to pick up a huge collection of music memorabilia, Nickelodeons, band organs, music boxes. I mean, you name it, Thomas Edison memorabilia that is just outstanding. So we're here doing a pickup with that. And, of course, nothing happened to go right with that. I mean, the very first thing that we did, ground seemed hard. But as we loaded our first truck, a 26-foot truck, it actually sunk into the ground, and we had to tow that out.
Oh, so, that's because it's sand over there, isn't it?
Sand underneath.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. What'd you guys do?
Grass.
How'd you get it out?
Well, we got a tow truck, got it moved, and, so we've had to make other arrangements. But that's just the type of thing that goes on at Donnelly Auction that people don't see. You know, when they come to the auction and they see items, in our gallery and up on the screen and everything, it never occurs to them all that goes on to get it there for them.
Right. Everything behind the scenes. Like another thing that happened this week, I hired some new employees because we're always looking to hire folks if anyone's interested in working at a fun-filled, who knows what's going to happen any day kind of a job. This week alone, at one time we had one guy dropping off firearms, one guy dropping off military items. We had a woman in there bringing in some signs. I mean, it was just nonstop activity. And that, again, was just one day this week. We're going to talk about some of those items, too. We got some great stuff that came in while you were gone, Randy.
So also today, I've had to take a break right now because I'm at another gentleman's house. We're picking up a large military collection. So I've got the crew in a different city. I've driven to this gentleman's house, and man, I can't tell you how rare this military collection is. Some extremely rare military daggers from World War II, German daggers and insignia and medals and gorgets, canteens. I mean, an astounding collection. And we're going to be selling this all in December, Susan.
That's great. So military auction coming up middle of December before the holidays. Great time to do some Christmas shopping, that's for sure. And
well, also, Susan, plenty of time for people to consign.
Yes, that was my next point.
We've got some great items now, but what do you have at home? I mean, you might have uniforms, helmets, insignia, daggers, guns. I mean, that's coming up in December, so you've got plenty of time right now.
That's right, and you know how to consign with us, right, folks? All you need to do is send us an email. Send it to consign, CONSIGN, at DonnellyAuctions.com. Just send us some information and a few photos. And we have a couple military experts and a firearm expert who can answer all your questions, and we'll give you next steps at that time. Keep it simple. So let's talk about Randy real quick. Today is Saturday. We are holding the camera collection auction right now as we speak in Arlington Heights. So, folks, are you near Arlington Heights right now? jot down this address, 311 South Arlington Heights Road. Head over to the camera auction. It's from the International Photography Hall of Fame in St. Louis. The auction started at 10, so we're a couple hours into it right now, but there are 600 lots. And boy, what great stuff we have out there, huh, Randy?
It's an amazing collection. You know, I can't use that word enough, or I do use it.
We need a new adjective, yes.
But you know what? Truly, it is exactly that. I mean, it's an amazing collection. I mean, it's a museum. I mean, it is a complete museum being auctioned off. And we have our camera expert here today. His name is George Glastras. And many of you have seen George on the Antiques Roadshow. He's a regular who does cameras, scientific equipment, and everything. And George helps us out repeatedly here at Donnelly Auctions. But if you'd like to meet George or, Susan, our crew, come on out to the auction in Arlington Heights today.
That's right. And you know what? There's something for everyone there. We have some very rare items like that spirograph, motion picture projector, all the way down to box lots of very common, modern, any maker model you can think of, we have it in this auction. So it's a great place for beginner photographies, collectors, people who want to stage, decorate. But my favorite item, of course, is the Mega Lithoscope. You've seen that, huh, Randy?
Mega Lithoscope. There you go.
I like just saying it. This is a huge. It's from the late 19th century. It's carved out of walnut. It's got a viewing lens and some focus control and all kinds of stuff. The thing weighs over 50 pounds. So come on out just to see the Mega Lithoscope. It sounds like a dinosaur, doesn't it?
It does, but you touched on this a little bit. What's great about this auction is the price range. For every wallet you can buy stuff as little as $10. You can spend up as high as $10,000 and everything in between. So if you're an advanced collector, or if you're a home decorator and want some cameras for bookshelves and just decorating, I mean, it's all there. And it's going at no reserve. There's no reserves. Whatever it sells for, it's being sold today.
That's right. 311 South Arlington Heights Road. Come on in and say Susan and Randy sent you. There's no admission to come to our auctions, folks. Come on in and take a look. The nice ladies at the front desk will walk you through the registration process. No charge. Very simple. All you need is a bidding card. And we'll be there till about 6 o'clock tonight, so come on out. Randy, we got about 3 minutes left. I want to touch base real quick on our September auction coming up, September 23rd and 24th, specifically the Rough Rider rifle. We have not talked about that yet. That's coming up on September 23rd.
No, you know what? We really haven't talked about it much because we really needed to 100% confirm the serial numbers on this gun because people that have Spanish-American War era Krag rifles all want to say their rifle was from the Spanish-American War and everything. But in order to prove it really was used in the Spanish-American War, but specifically by the Rough Riders, you need to confirm the serial numbers. And this one has been verified. It was issued to the Rough Riders during the Spanish-Am War.
That's right. And as we all know from our history class in school, that was the turning point of the Spanish-American War. Thank you, Teddy Roosevelt. That's what kind of drove him to become president, right?
Well, yes, Teddy Roosevelt was just an absolutely incredible character. He formed his own militia. Imagine this. He forms a militia here in the United States and goes to Cuba and, to fight in the war. And it's just an incredible story of bravery. I mean, Teddy Roosevelt gets to Cuba. They don't have their horses. Their horses are left either behind here in the States, I'm not sure, or whether it was on the ship. But he has a cavalry unit, and they don't have their horses. So in order to muster up, his men and give everybody courage, Teddy Roosevelt himself screams, "Follow me, boys," with his sword up in the air and pistol in the other hand, and charges up San Juan Hill. And the guys look at each other, probably thinking their colonel's crazy, but they follow him. And, of course, the victory is history, legendary, but that's Teddy Roosevelt, 1898.
That's right. You know, they originally were called the first U.S. Volunteer Cavalry because they were composed mostly of Western ranchmen. So then they just decided to nickname them the Rough Riders. So there's a little bit of trivia for you. And also I read that Teddy Roosevelt, a century later, was awarded the Medal of Honor in 2001 for that battle. How did that happen? Wow. I don't know. 30 seconds left, Randy. I want to let everybody know we're going to continue talking about the military auction we have coming up in September 23rd and 24th. And we're still taking consignments for the military section. The firearm auction is ready to roll. It is online now at DonleyAuctions.com. Click on the red button to see the catalog. But don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about Randall Knives in an upcoming segment here. I'm so excited. I learned a lot about that last night. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on AM 560, The Answer.
They've been called auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, even veterans of vintage. And they can introduce themselves. Thanks for listening. This is the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan. I'm co-owner of Donley Auctions with my partner in life, Randy Donley, who's calling in today from Florida. Randy, thanks for running out to the car and joining the show today. We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. You doing okay out there in Florida? Too hot for you?
Yeah, I'm having so much fun, though. The military collection I'm consigning right now is vast. It's great, and it's going to be in Union in a couple days, and we'll have it up in our December auction.
That's right. That's the second military auction we're going to hold. Well, not this year, but after the one that's coming up September 23rd and 24th. I want to touch base real quick on what we have coming up for that, because we are still taking consignments for the military segment of the auction. But on the first day, the 23rd, are all the firearms. And I just want to remind folks to come out and bid, come out live so you can see these items. You can bid online as well. But we have several Colt snake guns, the Anacondas and Pythons. We have some cowboy single action guns. We've got that Rough Rider Springfield rifle we talked about in the last segment. Wow. What do you think something like that's going to go for, Randy?
You know, I don't know. I've never had, all these years, I've never had a gun confirmed to have been a Rough Rider carbine. And well,
we'll see. That's the beauty of an auction.
Yeah, we'll know in a few weeks what they're worth.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a future show as well, because I'm excited to see how that goes. We have bidders from all over the country and all over the world, so stay tuned on information on that. We also have several beautiful Browning over and under shotguns, some in sub-gauges, including a Satori Lightning Grade 6. For those of you who know what that means, a Satori Lightning Grade 6. New to me. I'm still learning all this as well. And some really nice semi-auto shotguns from Beretta, Benelli, and Browning. So, Randy, I counted yesterday we have about 500 firearms coming up in the auction on September 23rd.
I was in the gun vault just the other day, and I was surprised again at the variety. It's so much fun to look around and see what's in there, because I mean, I noticed quite a few Winchester lever actions, which I wasn't even aware that had come in yet. And again, the variety of what's being sold is very, very interesting.
Right. Here's the variety. We have military rifles and handguns, hunting rifles and shotguns, 22 semi-auto pistols, revolvers, and black powder guns. So even though this auction has already reached its max for the one day, we are still taking consignments, folks. Email us at consign, CONSIGN, at DonleyAuctions.com, because we'll still take your firearms for our December auction. So it's never too early.
No, 100% correct, because we need time to photograph, describe, do everything that needs to be done for an auction in order to get you top dollar and the best price we can.
That's right. And just a reminder too, we do carry our own FFL, Federal Firearms License, so we can legally pick up, ship, sell, trade, buy, sell, all of that right here at Donnelly Auctions in Union, Illinois. So give us a call, too, if you're more of a phone person at 815-923-7000 if you have any questions. And we'll put you in touch with Neil, our firearm expert. But, Randy, you had mentioned – go ahead.
I was just going to say, of course, we're always happy to do pickups. I mean, here I am out in Florida today doing a pickup. So Illinois pickups, we love you. We're always happy to do, especially Chicago and suburbs. We're there for you.
That's right. And you had mentioned, too, that we have a couple Randall knives in this auction coming up September 24th. I want to touch base on a little bit of history on Randall knives. And what do you know, Randy, about what's coming up in the auction?
Well, I just saw the Randall knives come in, and I haven't done any research on what models they are or anything else. But Randall knives are so collectible, and of course I know you've done your homework and have something to tell us about Randall knives.
Yes, let me tell you what I discovered, because I really had no idea. I'm learning a lot from our little radio show here. But it's an American custom handcrafted company founded by Bo Randall. And, they still have a museum and a manufacturing company in Orlando, Florida. He started out as just a hobby in 1937. Bo had bought a knife to scrape paint off of a boat, and he was shocked at how nice the knife worked scraping the paint off. There was no wear, and it still kept its sharp edge. So he decided he was going to make one of his own and made it out of an auto spring. That's how he got started. That's how he made his first knife. So they founded the company in 1938, and they have about 28 different models, and most of them are hand-forged in a 17-step process, which takes 8 hours to complete. Come on, I never knew that. But the interesting part of it, the waiting list to get a custom Randall knife is 6 years.
Oh, my God.
They've customized knives for astronauts, which are now in the Smithsonian. Like I said, they have a museum, which is in Florida, with 7,000 knives, and the world's largest pocket knife collection is out there. And it's called the Randall Made Knife Museum in Orlando. So he died in 1989. He was 80 years old, and his son has taken over the company. So the reason Randall knives became so popular was the military started requesting knives being made, and during the war, they just became really popular. And because of the demand and the publicity during World War II, that's when their company turned the corner, and they kind of exploded. And you know who actually owned a Randall knife? There's several famous people who own them, but my favorite one was the Army Air Force Captain Ronald Reagan owned a Randall knife. So a little bit of information there about the history of Randall knives. And we have a couple coming up in the September 24th auction.
Susan, I was in Huntley, Illinois, doing a appraisal day for Sun City neighborhood.
I remember that, yes.
A woman walks up to my table and brings a Randall knife, and I said, amazing fighting knife and everything. And she goes on to tell me the story of it being her son's knife, who was actually killed in Vietnam. He was a ranger. She had sent him this fighting knife, and she said he loved it, had it with him, and of course it was sent back to her with his effects afterwards. And she brought the knife for a show and tell. She did not want to sell it, but I've always thought of that knife and the story, and it was just such an incredible time for this woman to be, showing the knife and everything and reliving the life of her son.
Wow. So what happened with it? Did she keep it?
She told us, if in fact she ever sells it, she would definitely call a Donnelly auction, but that's never happened. And hopefully it stays in the family and it gets passed on, to other family members. But if not, folks, if you have a Randall knife, they bring very good money, and you need to know that. And we can assess the value for you and sell it at auction for top dollar.
That's right. And, they also have, if you're looking for the Randall knives, they have Bowie knives, military knives, outdoorsman, saltwater knives, hunting, skinning, survival, and diving knives. So go check out in the garage, in the attic. Open up that Foot Locker and see if there's any Randall knives in there. What a great item to consign to an auction. So that will be coming up. If we can get it in for the September auction, I will do my best. But if not, we will definitely have it in December.
Motto,
we'll make it fit in your wallet.
Make it fit in your wallet.
Make it fit in your wallet. That's right, Randy. Big or small. So right now you're picking up very large items. We would love to get some smaller, knives that we can just carry in ourselves. So we do it all, folks. Randy Donnelly out there picking up stuff in Florida. When do you get back? A couple days yet, right?
You bet, Susan. We're loading 4 26-foot trucks here.
Oh, I hope you're getting some photos and video of that. That's just amazing.
You know what? We have not. I swear we have not been taking photographs. It is so hot here. We've just been working hard.
Well, good. Well, take care of yourself. We'll see you soon. But stay with me on the next segment, folks. Randy's going to keep talking about things that have happened this week, things he doesn't even know happened this week because he's been gone. But you're listening to us here on the Donnelly Auctions Hour every Saturday on AM 560. The Answer. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560. The Answer.
Thank you for sticking with us during that quick break, folks. You're listening to the Donnelly Auctions Hour right here on AM 560. I'm Susan. I'm co-owner of Donnelly Auctions, and we're located in Union, Illinois. And Randy Donnelly is on the phone with us from Florida, in hot, beautiful Florida. It's cold and rainy here, but that's okay. You're doing important stuff out there, huh, Randy?
That we are. But, I wanted to bring up, Susan, we've been talking about the September auction.
Yes, let's touch base on a few more items regarding that before we run out of time today.
Right. I wanted to point this out because the Wyatt Earp collection has been kind of on again, off again, and now on again. What had happened, ladies and gentlemen, of course, is that we actually have Wyatt Earp's vest and one of his pistols and now his saddle. And we've got a letter of authenticity with it and everything. So we were going to sell the vest and the pistol, but we didn't have the saddle. The family found the saddle, and we wanted to hold it for this auction because we're selling all 3 pieces as one group. It's the Wyatt Earp collection. It's all 100% authenticated. It's an amazing piece of history. Probably the most famous person in all of the Old West period of time is Wyatt Earp.
That's right. And you know what? It's on day 1 of the auction in September. So it's Saturday, September 23rd. It's one of the first items in the auction. So if you go to DonnellyAuctions.com, you'll see the auction flyer there. And there's a button that says Proxy Bid, I think, is our bidding platform. Click on that and you'll see the entire catalog. It's one of the first items on the first page. Check out the description of that. Wow, it's right. An amazing piece. But you know what I love about it, Randy? That I'm glad we got that saddle back because on the very back of it, you can hardly see it. It's stamped in the leather, Earp, E-A-R-P, right on the saddle.
Right. But I wanted to remind everyone, it's on, just as you said, it's on day 1 because we are selling a firearm. We don't have it in the memorabilia collection on day 2. It's on day 1 on the gun day. This grouping is selling.
That's right. So you can go to the catalog. You can bid online if you'd like, or you can call me. I'd be happy to do a phone bid with anybody who wants to be part of the auction but not be here. Give us a call at 815-923-7000. I'll be happy to do a phone bid. You can even put in an absentee bid, or you can come here live in Union, Illinois. We'll have donuts and coffee.
Yeah.
The auction starts at 10 a.m. too, by the way.
Then, of course, we've got the second half of on day 2. We've got the second half of our huge DI collection, military DIs.
Can you tell our listeners again what DI stands for?
Oh, I'm sorry, and thank you for reminding me. Distinctive insignia. A DI is a very small, just about a 1-inch by 1-inch enamel bin. They normally come in sets of 2 that the that the GIs wore either on their shoulders or their lapels on their uniforms. Distinctive insignia displayed their unit design and colors, and that's, of course, how you can quickly identify who belongs to what unit.
That's right. And we have about, 25 to 40 lots of those DI. They're in binders. The sheets are in binders. So take a look at that in our September 24th auction, which is online at DonnellyAuctions.com. So that's coming up as well. Now, Randy, you had also mentioned that we are sending a representative out to the Wheaton Civil War Show September 23rd, which is the same day as our auction. What's happening then?
Oh my God, the Civil War Show is just a great show. Who's our show promoter?
Zerko.
Bob Zerko.
Bob Zerko. Bob, we love you. Come out to Bob's show in Wheaton.
The best flea markets, shows, sales anywhere in the state of Illinois and Wisconsin. He's all over, but he just runs such a good. He's a class act and runs very, very good shows. And the Civil War Show is a excellent spot to go view. I mean, really interesting relics and everything. Plus, Mike Donnelly will be there, setting up our booth there and displaying upcoming auction. But if you want to meet Mike or bring items to him for upcoming auctions, or just talk about what you have, definitely come to the Wheaton Fairgrounds in Wheaton, Illinois.
September 23rd.
Yep.
Now,
Mike, don't miss it.
Mike Donnelly is extremely knowledgeable in military artifacts as well, correct? I'm okay to say that? Anybody can talk to him about any of the items that you might want us to take for consideration for an upcoming auction. We'd love to talk to you. Go see Mike.
Civil War, Old West, also early photography. A lot of the old tintypes and daguerreotypes and everything from that period of time. Mike really knows his stuff.
That's right.
So go there and talk to Mike.
So if you don't go to the show, come out to the auction on September 23rd. We're located in Union, Illinois. You can check our website at DonnellyAuctions.com for further information, or just give us a call. We love to talk to you. 815-923-7000. What do you got? Do you have anything you'd like us to evaluate for you and see if we can put it in auction? Let's make it fit into your wallet, folks. Don't go anywhere. We have Shauna Donnelly coming up next to give us an update on the Donnelly Group. And you're listening to us here on the Donnelly Auctions Hour every Saturday at 1, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
And now, more of the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
We are back with the Donnelly Auctions Hour. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Susan, co-owner of Donnelly Auctions, here with Randy Donnelly calling in from Florida, but I have Shauna Donnelly on the line today. Hi, Shauna. She's going to give us a quick update on the Donnelly Group. How are you today?
I'm great, Susan. Thanks for having me.
I know you're so busy, so I appreciate your time. Tell us what's new on your end.
Of course. Always happy to be here. Well, like you said, we are the Donnelly Group. I'm Shauna Donnelly. We are a real estate broker affiliated with at Properties Christie's International. And we have been selling like crazy. It's really exciting. You name it. Random calls from the radio, auction clients. It's been great. In fact, after last week, we got a call from someone in Kalispell, Montana, who needed to get hooked up with a realtor. So I put them in touch with one of my partners out in Kalispell.
So someone from the radio from Montana called?
That's correct.
Oh, my gosh, that's fantastic.
I know, exactly. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how they got our number. Maybe they're streaming it on our podcast, which
could be.
Is fantastic that you can go back and stream on our radio show for all of our important information.
That's right. You know, if you go to DonnellyAuctions.com, you can hear our radio show, live streaming. We also have the podcast posted there, and Shauna's information under the Donnelly Group tab.
Yes, it's the best way to get a hold of us. My cell phone number is right on there. But we've got some great listings on the market and coming soon to the market right now with the Donnelly Group. I'd like to talk about what we have in the Chicagoland area. We've got single-family homes and multi-units in the suburbs listed right now that you can come and check out. We've got great starter homes and bigger homes and investment properties, which is fantastic. And then in the city, we've got everything listed from a 1-bedroom condo, 2-bedroom condos, right up to the coach house that I've talked about on the radio that is still on the market and still available for someone to find the perfect property.
Wonderful. I love hearing about that. Can you give us a quick update on the Wild West Town property as well? I'd love to share that information as often as we can.
Absolutely. Well, as we have talked about several times before, the Wild West Town is currently closed. It was our amusement park with the museum, rides, and attractions. We were open since 1974, and it's 23 and a half acres, zoned B3 in McHenry County. We've got over 40,000 square feet of commercial buildings. There are 2 residences, natural gas, wells, and it's all set for Comcast fiber optics. We've got hundreds of parking spaces, multiple driveways right on Route 20 and that roundabout right there. So you get lots of highway frontage. It's really the perfect property. We think it would be great for someone to come in and continue to operate it as the Wild West Town, turn it into an event center, hold concerts and shows and festivals. And really, the opportunities are endless for the possibilities there.
That's right. And we are, I don't know if you mentioned, we are zoned commercial property. So you get everything in one fell swoop in 24 acres. So give us a call at 815-923-7000 if you have any questions or if you know of any investors who might be interested. We would love to hear from them. Thank you, Shauna, for that. And I had a question, too. I wanted you to explain to us why it's important to hire a professional agent, an attorney, and a mortgage broker.
Well, thank you so much for asking. Just like you want to go and hire the professional auctioneer who can absolutely get you the most money for your items and sell things very quickly and professionally, it's the same with real estate. Real estate brokers are trained to vet other buyers when I'm hosting a listing. That's very important too. You want to make sure that a buyer coming into your home is pre-approved. And it's no different when you hire an attorney. Think about different things for business. You don't want to hire an attorney that does estate to set up your LLC necessarily if that's not something that they always do. So it's the same thing with a real estate attorney. You want someone who's making these transactions all the time so that you know that your property is going to close and that they can handle any hiccups that may come up along the way. Real estate brokers, mortgage brokers, are no different. I have partners with several different companies that handle my personal stuff as well as investments for a lot of my clients. And the most important part about that is so many people think that you want to just go to your banker. Sometimes that's the right thing to do because they can offer competitive rates, but a lot of times they're not cranking out the mortgages like mortgage brokers are. So it's very important when you are a buyer and let's say you're in a multiple offer situation and the seller wants to close quickly. Can your mortgage broker do that? That's a very important thing, and not all banks can close quickly. So talk to your real estate professional. They can definitely recommend the right attorneys and the right mortgage brokers to be talking to.
Wow, Shauna, that is great information. Thank you so much for sharing that. Again, you can reach us at DonnellyAuctions.com. Go to our website. There's just so much information there. There's a tab for real estate or the Donnelly Group. You can get a hold of Shauna direct, and she will definitely direct you in the right path for your future sale, buying, or investment property. Anything else to add, Shauna?
Well, like you said, investment properties, those are really hot right now, too. House hacking is another very attractive thing for buyers. And what house hacking means is that you purchase a multi-unit property, you live in it, and then you have tenants in other units paying part of your mortgage. So I'm more than happy to talk to anybody that hears us on the radio today or in the future, just to be your real estate resource. I can advise you on buying, selling, investing, and renting. Happy to help everybody.
Wow, Shauna, thank you so much. I know you're on your way out for another real estate venture, so thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you again this week. Safe travels. And Randy, you still on the phone with us?
I am.
Okay, we're going to come back in the next segment to wrap it up so we can get everyone on their way. We're very busy here at Donnelly Auctions. If you have any questions, you can always call us at 815-923-7000. We would love to talk to you about any valuable items you might have and you just don't know what to do with them. Don't put them in a garage sale. Call Donnelly Auctions and we'll tell you if it's got meat on the bones. That's what we like to say. And then we'll just tell you what to do next. Either we're going to come pick it up or set up an appointment for you to drop it off. We're trying to keep it very simple because we want to make your collection fit in your wallet. So don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap up the segment in just a second here on AM 560, The Answer.
The Donnelly Auctions Hour continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
We are back with the Donnelly Auctions Hour. We've talked about upcoming auctions that we're holding. We have one today, the camera auction in Arlington Heights. Don't go to Union because there'll be a big sign on the door that says the auction's in Arlington Heights. That's started this morning at 10 a.m. It'll probably go till 6 p.m. So go to 311 South Arlington Heights Road if you want to check out the camera auction. And Randy is out in Florida. He'll be back in a few days, picking up a huge collection out there in the heat of Florida. Hi, Randy.
Hey, Susan.
It
is warm here.
It is warm there, I know. We always talk about the weather, but you're not missing anything here. But I do want to touch base real quick because since you haven't been here, about all of the great things that have happened while you're gone. And one of the huge things that came in yesterday is several hundred just boxes and boxes of baseball cards. So the guys today are going through all of them and told me that there are baseball cards in there in this collection of Ted Williams. There's 2 Mickey Mantle baseball cards and a Yogi Berra rookie card. Oh, my gosh. If you know anything about baseball cards, we're going to do an entire segment on that because we are going to hold a sports memorabilia auction in the next few months. So one of the things I want to ask our listeners out there, what do you have? Do you have anything to consign in the sports category, such as pennants, baseball cards, of course, anything with autographs, any kind of balls of any of the sports are valuable, bats, helmets, jerseys, and we're looking for stuff not just for baseball, but basketball, football, hockey. What do you have? Give us a call at 815-923-7000. We have a great foundation for a sports memorabilia auction. We want to keep adding to it. So go check in your garage or your attic.
Susan, I want to add to that because I didn't get a chance to tell you that just yesterday I got a phone call that we have an entire semi coming to us from California.
What?
One of the big memorabilia shops from Las Vegas actually has closed their doors, and all the memorabilia, all the framed memorabilia with COAs and everything, sports, movies, everything is coming our way. And it may be available already as soon as November.
Oh my gosh, a semi-truck full, you said.
Our big November auction, we may be adding a day for sports memorabilia because this huge collection is on its way. It's due to arrive at our place September 18th.
Wow, what an opportunity for someone who is very knowledgeable in the sports memorabilia field. I would love to hire an outside consultant to help us with all of that. You know, we have Ryan in-house right now who's an expert in that field, but I bet you he could use some help, don't you think?
Well, and I'm, again, always so glad that you brought that up because we are hiring. The company just keeps expanding. We keep getting more, and we need more staff. We need more staff that can describe in your specific field. So sports memorabilia is another position we're going to be adding on another sports person.
Yes, and firearm expert. We have Neil is doing a fantastic job, but he's growing the department so quickly that he needs an extra set of hands describing firearms too. So if you have any real talent or knowledge in that field as well, please give us a call at 815-923-7000. Randy, don't you go yet because we got to finish up our little ending here. But I want to let folks know to check our website at DonnellyAuctions.com for upcoming auctions. So that way you can kind of time it yourself and see when you can get your items out to us. Give us a call at 815-923-7000. You're listening to the Donnelly Auctions Hour here on AM 560, and I'm Susan.
And I'm Randy Donnelly.
And we'll see you at the auction.
To the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. Check out all the latest information on upcoming auctions and collectibles at DonnellyAuctions.com. And while you're there, you can contact someone about buying or selling your collectibles or estates. That's DonnellyAuctions.com.